Hello there. Today I want to go over how to create this right here, which is set actions in a tooltip. And you'll see this bar chart when you hover over the different categories, the colors of the bars in the tooltip change. And this is a great way to have interactivity, encourage your clients to use your dashboard, interact with it through this action here. I have this dashboard, my Tableau public profile. Just go to Dawn Harrington. I also have it in my blog site. I'm wearing the t-shirt for my blog site today. It is 2 use cases for set actions in a tooltip. And it kind of walks you through how to set this up. So I'm going to do this in Tableau public. So in Tableau public, I have connected to Sample Superstore dataset, and I need to create the 2 charts. So I'm going to go ahead and put category on the rows shelf, and then I'm going to put sales on the columns shelf. And then I'm going to change sales to a quick table calculation and make it % of total, just to make it a little bit more interesting. If I hover over it right now, I can see that it's giving me 3 decimal places, so I kind of want to format that. So I'm going to right click on sales and select format and change it to %2. So you can see on my data pane telling me sum of total sales %2. Okay, and then maybe I want to make this a little bit more interesting and click on category and just sort it from highest to lowest there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and rename this sheet category. And now I'm going to create the sheet for the tooltip. So I'm going to click on another sheet, and I'm going to put subcategory on rows shelf, and I'm going to put sales on that columns shelf. And the other thing I want to do is I'm going to put category on detail, because I want to be able to drill down from category to see this subcategory. So I'm going to need to have category in the detail on this sheet in order to make that connection. The other thing I want to do is I want to sort this, and I want to change this to a table calc. So same thing, I'm going to click that sum of sales and do quick table calculation, % of total. So it'll change the bars. And I'll also might want to click on edit table calculation to make sure that it's doing table down. All right, it is doing % of total table down. The other thing I want to do is sort. So I could do a sort by clicking the drop down on subcategory, or I could just click this button on the toolbar like I did on the previous slide. So I can have the top percentage at the top, and then I could see it goes down from there. So the next thing I want to do, I'm going to rename this sheet tooltip. That way I know when I'm inserting it in my tooltip, that's the one that I want to put in the tooltip. So the next thing I want to do is create a set on category. So I'm going to right click on category on my data pane and select create set. And I'm going to select all on the category set. This is fine. And I'm going to click OK. So the next thing I want to do is I want to place this on the color of this tooltip worksheet. So I'm going to drag it to color, and yep, there it is. It's automatically giving me the color of blue for all of them, but I'm going to change that when we get to doing the other things. So then I'm going to go back to my category sheet, and I'm going to clean up this tooltip and insert that sheet in the tooltip. So I'm going to click on that tooltip and clean it up. I'm going to say, okay, category, and then do the %. And then I'm going to click another line and maybe add another line and then insert the tooltip here. The other thing I want to do is I want to get rid of the filtering, because right now it says filter all fields. So I'm going to click OK and show you what that means. So if I hover over each of the bars, it's going to just cut out all the other subcategories and just show you those pertinent ones that belong to that bar. So I'm going to click on Tooltip and delete that all fields. So it just has nothing in between those double quotes. And then I'll click OK. So, oh, okay, I'm now getting that error message that says view is too large to show. So that always happens when, you know, you've got something larger. So just go and adjust the height. So maybe I'll put the height as 600 pixels and click OK and see if that clears it up. So you kind of have to eyeball this. Okay. Yep, office supplies. Okay. So how do I get that action of coloring those items that belong to, you know, the different categories? So this I need to do on a dashboard. So I'm going to go ahead and click on a dashboard, and I'm going to drag this onto, I'm going to drag category sheet on top of the dashboard. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a set action. So I'm going to go up to the dashboard menu and select actions, and I'm going to add a change set values action. So add action, change set values, and I'm going to hover. So I'm going to run the action on hover on this category, and the target set is going to be that category set that I created. So I could see category, hover, target set, category set, and running the action will assign the values to the set, and when I'm clearing the selection, it will remove all the values from the set. So that is the way that I want to set up this action. Then I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to click OK again, and now look at that. I have the bars coloring, the bar color changing to blue when I hover over the bar for category. So the only other thing I'd want to do is clean up the grid lines. Maybe I'm going to want to go back to category, click on that sales pill in the columns shelf to hold my control key down to duplicate it and put it on top of the label. So that way I have the bars labeled. So any changes I make on that sheet will now appear in that tooltip there. So that is how, you know, you do, you know, changing the color of those bars and setting up that tooltip for that item. So the only other thing I might want to do is I might want to change the text in the tooltip, and I'm going to show you a trick. I'm going to go to a new sheet. I'm going to type in new calculation on the columns shelf, and this creates a inline calculation. And I'm going to type min, open parenthesis 1, closing parenthesis, and it creates this bar here. So I'm going to right click on this bar and select edit axis. And I'm going to click on custom and do a fixed end. So this is a trick that I like to do to clean up the toolbars, to kind of insert a visual bar in between the text of saying, okay, this category is X percentage, and then showing the visualization with the, you know, underneath. So I'm going to insert this in between. And then I'm going to hide the header. So I'm going to rename this sheet bar. And I'm going to go back to my category sheet and insert this sheet now in the tooltip. So I'm going to insert the bar now in between the text and the sheet, and I'm going to change it to, let me make sure this is going across the sheet. Now I'm going to click OK. And so that inserts a nice little bar in between your visualization and the subcategory there. I can go back to the tooltip and clean the field labels for rows just to make it a little bit cleaner. And then maybe I want to go back to my bar sheet and then change this maybe to like a default gray. So now in my dashboard, I can see I've got that visual separator from how much the percentage of the total the office supplies is, and then the breakout by the subcategory.